Hi guys, Debbie here. So today's another Throwback Thursday, some of my favourite videos to make, and doing this one as a request from one of my subscribers to do it. So it is Kat Von D, so if you don't support Kat Von D or you don't want to watch it, totally understand. I have a lot of Kat Von D products and I've spent my money on them and I'm going to use them. So just a heads up before I begin, but if you're down for seeing one of her older palettes in action and me creating a look to inspire you to pick it up and use it again, then that's what this video is going to be all about. So it's with the Metal Matte palette, and I just remember how excited I was when this came out, and I think it's 3 Christmases ago, maybe 2 or 3. It's quite an old palette, and that's the shades inside if you're not familiar. It's absolutely beautiful. A lot of people said they struggled to make a look out of it, and I really don't understand why that is. There's some beautiful colours. You've got your sort of paler colours for transitions and brow bone highlights. All of these are shimmer shades, and they're kind of like the Metal Crush formula, which she did used to do in singles. I absolutely adore. And the mattes are really good quality in here as well. And I've used maybe some of the ones more in this kind of zone a lot, and I've used the silver, but I haven't used most of the other shades, which is terrible really. And I think when I bought it, I wasn't as into colour as I am now. I probably had about 20 palettes at the time instead of the 130 odd I've got now, and I wasn't into rainbow colour, and so I struggled as well to put looks together with it. So I figured maybe some of you, if you're watching, you're probably into colour, but there might be people out there who are like, how do I pair one colour with another in this palette in particular? So if you've got it and you want to play along, that would be awesome, but if not, you can use any shadows that you've got in your collection to create something similar. Just find tones that are similar and look at the colour pairing that I'm going to be doing. So for once, I've sort of almost planned out what I'm going to do, so which isn't usual for me. So I'm going to use that colour probably as the main colour in the look. Probably blend it out a little bit with something paler, so maybe that one. That's going to be my lid shade Focus, and then on my lower lash I want to do something green and maybe pull in that green somewhere as well. So totally different ends of the palette and ends of the colour spectrum, because I like a weird colour combination. So that's what we're going to do. So I'll scooch you in and we'll get started. Okay, so my eyes are primed with the matte painterly paint pot and they're not set, and I'm going to go in with the first shade I'm going to use, which is this one, which is called Velvet. So that shade there. So to start off the look, I'm going to start in the middle of my crease and pack that on. These are a bit drier than the average matte, so I think packing rather than swiping backwards and forwards, I think packing will work, and we'll blend afterwards. And I'm going slightly above my natural crease line, and then when I get to the edge I'm going to feather it out. So now I've packed the colour down, I've gone in with a bit more of a fluffier brush so that I can start picking up some colour but also blending at the same time. So I don't know how many of you have this one, because as I say, it's 2 or 3 years old. I don't know if people decluttered it. There was a smaller version of this palette that came out, but it was more the neutrals that were picked to be in that one. But I love the range of colours in here. But when I first saw it, I saw it in a Debenhams catalogue. In the UK, Debenhams always come out with like a little Christmassy catalogue. Debenhams is our department store if you're from the US and you don't know. And at the time our town didn't really have a department store other than Debenhams, so when Debenhams came out with a catalogue with this in, I was like so excited. I was like, I've got to get that. And it was when Kat Von D had only just become available in the UK to be able to buy without having to order from the US as well, so I was all over it. Probably going to take me a little bit of time just to, I want the colour to be strong, but I also want it to sort of diffuse out at the edges so that it doesn't look harsh on the edges, but while still having some sort of a structure and a shape. Don't know if I can explain what I want really, but beginning to get that though, so gonna pack in that corner as well. I love the tones in this one in particular. They're kind of, I wouldn't say they're dual tones, but they're along that sort of line. So they're darker mattes and a lot more my vibe than some of the rainbow shades, really. I like colourful eyeshadows, but not as much the really rainbow brights, although, you know, I do like them, but this is a lot more my aesthetic, I'd say. Really taking my time. This brush that I'm using, by the way, is the Sigma Tapered Blending, so the E45. I'm going to swap back to the Exact Blend brush just to pack some more colour on that outer V. Didn't want to do that first off because I didn't want to get too much colour there and not be able to shear it out on the edges as I want it to. What I do need to do is erase a little bit there, so I'm going to go in with the shade Bone, which is that one there. Flat side of an Anastasia brush. I'm just going to erase that edge because I've taken it a bit lower than I wanted to go, so there we go. And let's clean that up a little bit. Whilst not looking like a harsh line. I've cleaned up using concealer when I've made a mistake there before, but you do end up with quite a harsh, stark line, whereas that's a little bit more diffused. Alright, so that's the shape on that eye. Now we've got to replicate it on the other one, which is always my, the most difficult thing for me. So I'm just packing the shadow into my crease and above my crease, but I don't want to go too low down. These shadows feel drier than I remember them being, so I don't know if that's because they're getting older or because they were always dry and I've just used so many different formulas now. And they're working, but it's taken me a little while to build up the colour and to get them to move around. But they have no fallout whatsoever, which is great. Because if you're working with dark shades like this, it can quickly become Fallout City, so just doing exactly the same as I did on the other eye, trying to get myself that same shape if I can, that's like diffused on the edges, but is almost a triangle coming up. And again, I've gone a little bit lower than perhaps I might want to, but we'll erase that with that Bone shade. I've only come into about there because I want to make this an open cut crease, so I'm using all of that area when I cut the crease. And at the top edge, I'm just doing a sort of circular motion. And this brush is great for that because the tip of it is kind of a bit of a, it's a point, but it wiggles easily. It's hard to explain. It's like the majority of the brush is stiff and then just the top of it is quite flexible, so it allows you to be able to use that to your advantage to get a blend going. So again, I'm just going to use the Bone shade just to clean up the line underneath and just get that a little bit erased. Just to help slightly with the blend at the top, I'm going to go in with that one which is called Suede. I think Bone would have been too stark and white for what I'm looking for. I think this will just give me that fade at the top. Okay, so now I've laid down the foundations there, I'm going to cut the crease. Just going to use my Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer to do it. And my cut crease brush, which is my favourite way to cut my crease. And I'm going to cut it, as I say, fairly high because I want to give myself maximum space for the shimmer shades. So I'm going to leave it open at the front. And then where that meets, I'm just going to tap that out. And then in the back part of the cut crease, so here, I'm going to go in with the shade Vault, I think, which is that shimmer shade there. And I'm going to spray that. That blends almost seamlessly in with the velvet shade, so that worked better than I expected. And then on the other side of the same brush, I'm going to go in with the shade Flash. At the moment we've got a line between the two, but I will sort that out. And then to give me a blend from that shimmer shade to that, I'm going to go in with the shade in the middle, Synergy. And I'm just going to drag that, I'm using that one dry, and I'm just going to drag that one from one to the other. Just to give me a bit of a mesh between the two. Okay, for lower lashes I want to go in with the shade Mars from Urban Decay. So one of the 24/7 liner pencils. And take that in my waterline and slightly below it. I'm not taking that all the way to the corner, so just stopping around about there. So I'm meeting that up with the outer corner, but I don't want it to mesh too much into that, so I'm just kind of stopping where I get there. And then I'm going to go in with the shade Moss to set that, and I'm just going to use a pencil brush to do that. That out just a little bit. I've just got a brush with no additional product, and I'm just going to just blend underneath. Just to add a little bit of interest to the lower lash line, I'm going to go in with the shade What, so that one. Decide if that's not light enough, so change my mind, we're going to go in with Ignite instead. Okay, so that's what we've got right now. I'm going to hop off camera, do my mascara and choose a lip for the look. Don't think I'm going to use any eyeliner on my upper lids for this look, because I think it's quite dramatic enough. I don't think we need a wing, so I'm just going to do mascara and a lip, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's the finished look. Quite pleased with how this one turned out. It's my kind of vibe. I love these sort of tones. So when I was thinking about which lipstick to pair with the look, I was so tempted to use this one, which is Requiem by Anastasia, because it would pull out the lower lash line really well. But going to work today, I didn't think I'd get away with it, but I'd forgotten I'd got this one, and I'm definitely going to use this in a look soon. But what I did go with is the Studied Kiss lipstick from Kat Von D in the shade Sanctuary, which is this one here, which is also a favourite. So it's another cool tone, sort of mauvey shade, a bit like Dusty Mauve by Anastasia, but a bit more vivid, a bit darker. So yeah, quite happy with how the look came out. what do you guys think? I'd love to know. So let me know if you like the look. Would you recreate it? Have you got this palette still in your collection? If you have, then I'd love to see if you wanted to recreate anything similar with it, or what looks do you create using it? What shades do you use out of it? I'd love to know. I think I would like to do something next time if I use it again soon. I'd like to do something with the blues and blacks. So not really used that blue, and it's a beautiful vivid royal blue. Colour is velour. So I really enjoyed doing this one, so thank you to whoever suggested to do this. It was very, very kind of you to come up with a suggestion. I love getting your suggestions for Throwback Thursdays. I want to do the palettes that you've got in your collections and that you want to see me do looks with. So, but that's all for today's video, and I'd love to tell you what's coming next, but I just don't know. So I'm going to have a think about what I'm going to do. I'm going to probably do a palette bingo over the weekend. Maybe with a Jeffree Star palette, one of the older ones, I think. So that's all for today though. If you're not subscribed already, I'd love to have you. But other than that guys, catch you in the next one. Bye!